Look at the camera. This is Darcy. She's very excited I'm home, but she doesn't really love to be held. So she's right now wanting to get onto my desk so that I can pet her there. You probably can't hear her, but she is purring. But you're going to have to get down, sweetie. Okay. Hey y'all, welcome to Criminally Creative, a channel about my various creative endeavors. Today is Sunday, October 22nd, 2023, and this is episode 49. I'm Susan. You can find me on Ravelry as Legal Eagle and on Instagram as Criminally Creative Podcast. It has been about 3 weeks since my last video, and I have a ton to talk to you about, so much so that there's going to be 2 videos. So moving on into Hearsay, if you have watched my last video, you know I was getting ready to start what I was jokingly calling my senior tour since I turned 55 on October 6th, and I was doing 3 weekend events in a row. This video is mostly not going to be about those events, other than you will see what I have stitched on in the last 3 weeks. Because those were 3 big events and I want to talk about them, and I also have a ton of stashing for retirement from those 3 events. I'm going to do a totally separate video about those events and what, my experiences and what I brought home from them. You may get a few little comments here and there in this video, but if you're interested in hearing more about the events that I attended, then check out that video, which will probably show up after this video shows up. Today, like I said, today is Sunday. I'm recording this one first because hopefully it will be shorter. And I hope to get the other one recorded tomorrow on Monday, which is my last day off before I have to go back to work on Tuesday. So anyway, the past 3 weeks, I did attend 3 events: Queen City Retreat, Stitch New England, and then this past weekend I was up in the mountains of North Carolina at SAF and doing some other things with a couple of friends. But again, not going to go into a lot of detail that in this video. Check out the other video if you want to hear more about those. So this video I'm going to do more normal. I'm going to show you what I've been stitching on. I will show you some stashing for retirement that is separate from the events that I attended, and talk with you about my plans going forward in the next couple weeks between now and the next regular video. So anyway, let's move on to the crafting. First up is verdicts. I do have 1 verdict, which is a cross stitch verdict. I did show this, I think, as a whip the last time I saw you, and I just realized I don't have anything. Let me see if I can find something to put behind it so you can actually see it, because the iPad I usually use is not up here at the moment. This is Freaky Fair Isle, which was a stitch along with Helen D from her YouTube channel is Helen D. On Instagram, she is East Coast Dot Crafter, I think, or East. I'll put a link to her YouTube channel below. Anyway, this was a stitch along with her, or that she was sponsoring with Cobweb Corner. The pattern is by Pedal Pusher. It is on 14 count perforated paper, and it was done with Weeks Dye Works Ultraviolet 3 strands. I haven't had a chance, obviously, to fully finish it. I did finish this while I was at Stitch New England, which Helen was at. So for this video, I will actually input a picture in here of me and Helen together when I finish this. So I will probably just cut around that and turn that into an ornament. Helen, if you go watch her video, she did a really neat finish of it, but I don't have a lot of places to set stuff like that, so I'm going to turn it into an ornament, because hopefully one of these days I want to have a Halloween tree. We'll see. Anyway, so that is all for the verdicts. So let's move on to court in session. First up, I'm going to show you a couple of knitting projects. Both of these you have seen before, but I haven't showed you in a while. Excuse me, I haven't made tons of progress, but I am hoping that there will be a little bit more knitting content in the future. So I just thought I'd show you where I am on. First up is socks. This is in a Flying Sock Monkey bag by the Silver Shed USA. She was on Etsy. I have not ordered anything from her in a long time, so I think she's still on there. Ooh, hey, I have candy in this bag. That is probably from Queen City. It's a little mashed. Because that one late one evening I was, ooh, there's gummy bears in here too. I was a little tired of stitching, so I knitted my socks a bit. Anyway, I do all of my socks toe up 2 at a time on US 0, which is 2mm needles, and this is where I am currently on these. Just the foot. Still working on the foot. This yarn is Nomadic Yarns Sparkle Sock or Spark Sock in the color I Smell Snow. I don't know if there you should be able to see a little bit of the sparkle in there. It's a silver sparkle, which is my preference. I'm not a big gold person, so I like the silver sparkle better. So those have gotten a little work since I last talked to you, and some more work before that you just had not seen. Put those away. And my next knitting project I'm going to show you is in this bag from the Fat Squirrel. It says, "Bitch please, I'm a unicorn." This is a pattern by Joji Locatelli. It is called Ladybird Wrap. I am doing it in Suburban Stitcher sock, which is and in the colors and the yarn that the pattern was originally done in, so the model picture. I am still working on the center piece. I have gotten past the middle, and that's where I am. I've got to do 2 more 72 row repeats, so another 144 rows before I will be done with the center, and then there's picking up around and knitting a border around the edges. I will hopefully at some point here have put in a picture of what the final project will look like. And that is all my knitting quarters in session. The rest of this is cross stitch, and as always there's a lot of it. Excuse me, the cough is pretty much gone, but there's a little bit of sinus drainage, which may make me cough occasionally just because of stuff in my throat. More like clearing my throat than coughing. So anyway, so if you've watched previous videos, you know I've kind of been on a starting kick. So I do have quite a few new starts, but let's start first with the existing projects and my whip go calls for October and where I've got on those. So the first one is in this bag, which is a Lynn XStitch Creates bag. That was one of her quarterly bags that she did last year and I think the year before. This is Rejoice Evermore by With Thy Needle and Thread. I started this on June 10th of 2022. This was my StitchCon 2022 start. I'm doing it with the called for floss, except that I have changed one of the reds, and I don't remember which one. There is a link below to my Google Sheet, which has my cross-stitch project information, fabric, general information about floss, size, all that stuff below if you're interested. This is being done on 40 count R&R in Barb's Blend. And I think I'm going to try a new way. I'm going to show you where I am, and then I think I'm going to try the way that I saw, I think it was Jessie Marie Does Stuff doing it, where I'm going to put up after I show you where I am, I'm going to put up a picture of where it was before next to where I am now, or above or below, whichever works out, so you can see that a little better. So I had a very small start at this before. I have finished the 10-hour goal on this. I've even gotten a little bit of the satin stitch done there. I have done, in the 10 hours, I did 1,959 stitches, and that got me to 5.2% on this project. So did enjoy working on this. I am looking forward to getting down to some of the blues, because I'm not a huge red person, so working only in red and kind of a greens and yellows is not my color palette, but I do love the overall project. So that is the first Whip Go Call completed. My second Whip Go Call is in this Creative Carol bag, no, Brass Button bag, which is Grinch. This is Winter Wonderland, and I will put a picture up here of what it will look like when it's finished. This is a pattern by Dorothy Kanzi. You can get this on the Historic Street Meister website or through the Silk app, which is an app developed by Historic Street Meister. Sorry, my German is horrible. I am doing this through the Silk app. And I have done about 5.5 of the 10 hours on this. So still working on this. In those 5.5 hours, I've gotten 1,399 stitches. And this is currently at 60.9% of the total. There's some more up here that is blocked off, but I'm not going to take it out of the Q-snap right now. Mostly what I have done this time is all this was finished. I have done this whole block and just getting ready to start. I did a little bit more over here. So I'm going to work a little bit here, and then I'll move the fabric up, and if I get that far in the next 4.5 hours that I'm going to do this month. So that was my second Whip Go Call. My full coverage focus for the month is a pattern that I just started earlier this year. This is September's Sapphires by Carolyn Manning Designs. And again, I have this digitally, so I'll put a picture up of what it will look like when it's finished. I worked on this weekend some and got in 1,040 stitches. My goal for the month is 2,000 stitches. This is currently at 5.1%. And here's where it is. These are a lot of fun just because they're mostly my sort of mindless stitching. Oh, I forgot to show you. This bag is from Cricklewood Crossing, I think is the name of it. If I have that wrong, I'll put it up on the screen if it's different. It's either Cricklewood Creek or Cricklewood Crossing. I'm not sure. I'll put it up on the screen, what it is. So I need to do, my goal for full coverage is 2,000 stitches on the project in the month. Sorry, I wrenched my back a little bit this morning and it hurts. So I'm hoping to get, another 900 plus stitches on that before the end of the month. So, then those were my Whip Go and full coverage goals for the month. Another project I worked on this month that was already started. This is in a Brass Button Grinch bag as well. Because I was at Queen City Stitch Retreat, which was Nora Corbett themed, I did work a little bit on my Winter White Santa. When I do the side by side on this, you're not going to see much difference because I only got 125 stitches done on it. I started this January 15th of 22. Let me get him facing the right direction here. So here's where he is. And most of the work I think I did this time was, I think this down over here, somewhere in there, I think is where I did it. But as you'll see in just a moment, I started a couple of new memorabilias at the retreat, but I did want to put a little bit of work on what I already had started. Next up, last month in September, I started Halloween at Hawkwind Hollow. This is in a bag by Sherry So Sweet. I have been making some project bags, but I have not attempted the patchwork yet, and Sherry does a really good job. So this is Halloween Hawk Run Hollow, which will look like this when it's finished. As I said, I just started this September 1st, and it is on 40 count fiber on a whim heather. Sorry, I try to fold these into the bag with the stitches inside so they don't get too much sagging and stuff, which means I have to totally unfold my fabric to get that out. And so here's where the first block is. I did 505 stitches on this when I was at Stitch New England retreat. I Zoom with Pam, the owner of Stitch New England, twice a month, once for any Hawk Run Hollow and once for Fancy Folk. And so since the Hawk Run Hollow Zoom was supposed to have been the Thursday night before the retreat, but obviously it was canceled because she was getting ready for a retreat, I thought it was appropriate that I at least did a little stitching on this while I was at the retreat. So, and that is now at 2.8%. I started that on September 9th of this year. Not 9th, September 2nd. Sorry, it's hard to read without my glasses. This one, you're going to get a little peek of. This is actually a purchase from Queen City Stitch Retreat. Sheba Designs was there with her bags, and so I bought this bag that weekend. This is a new start that I started on October 1st, 2023. It is the Halloween Sampler by Teresa Kogut, that one on the front of the book. And I'm going a little bit different route on this with the fabric. I'm doing it on 40 count fiber on a whim cypress. I'm also using the Vicki Clayton Silks conversion for this. So, and I got 549 stitches done for 1.1%. So I think some of the colors will not stand out as well, but I like the kind of green moody vibe. So got that cat outlined. I haven't totally filled them in yet, but I got the one pumpkin in the corner who's cute. So got that done, or started rather. I was starting that. Memphis Sarah E was supposed to be starting it October 1st. I don't think she got it started. I think there's a hashtag for it, but I can't remember what it is. Halloween Sampler Style, maybe. Next new start is in another bag by Sherry So Sweet. I got this one a while back. I think I've already showed it to you. This was a start at the Queen City Stitch Retreat. This is Nightingale by Mirabilia. And I am doing this on 32 count Under the Sea fabrics in Sea Witch. It is not that green of the pattern. Trying to figure out which way is up on this. I think that's right. I'm pretty sure that's right. And this is how far I got. No, maybe that's, hold on a second. I'm not sure, not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure that that's right side up. No. I'm not sure. I usually try to, once I look at my pattern, like where I've marked it off, I will know. But anyway, this is Nightingale. I started this on October 6th, 2023, which was my 55th birthday. So this was also my birthday start, as well as a start at Queen City. And I did 547 stitches. I do not have a percentage on the Mirabilias because I have not been successful with those huge patterns at getting a good enough scan to use it at Markup RXP and know where I am. So I use good notes and just highlight off and have to count myself so I don't get a percentage markup. The next new start was also a new start at Queen City. This is in a brass button bag with fairy tales on it. This was started October 7th. Another memorabilia. This is Sleeping Princess. And I am doing this on 28 count fabric from Grace Notes called Barbie. I did actually purchase this at the retreat. If you watched one of my previous videos, you saw that you may have seen that I had 2 fabric options for this pattern, and I ended up going with neither of them because Grace Notes was at the retreat and had fabric, and I chose this bright pink to start on instead. So this is Sleeping Princess, and I have done 651 stitches on that. And again, do not have a percentage on that because of the app that I used to do it in. Next up is my May Quaker for, first of all, this is a project bag that I made. It is a project bag fail because you see how floppy it is. I did not realize until I was turning the bag inside out to get everything that the interfacing had not adhered very well. So when I started turning, it like jumbled all up inside the bag and there was no straightening it. So I just pulled it out, and I was making 2 in this fabric, one for me and one for my friend Anne. And so I gave her the one that looked decent. And this, you know, it's just floppy. It doesn't have any structure to it. So anyway, this is my May Quaker from the Heart Needle Heart. I'm doing a Quaker a month for 7 on the 8th for Julia, at least through December, and then hopefully we'll finish the next year. I will put a picture in of what it will look like when it's finished. And here's where I've gotten so far. You can see April's Quaker is on the same piece of fabric. I have done 564 stitches, which is 19.3%. So hoping to finish, hopefully I will finish that this month. Excuse me. Next new start is also in a new bag. This is another Sheba Designs bag that I purchased at Queen City Stitch Retreat. I think that's Tula Pink fabric. I'm not 100% sure. I started this on October 13th, which was a Friday. So Friday the 13th in October definitely required a spooky start. And I was at Stitch New England. So I started Jack's Bash by Plum Street. I'll turn it this way so you can see what it actually looks like. I am doing this on, I wanted to check something because I think it's called, yes, I'm doing this on 36 count R&R Abecedarian. The pattern says it called for is 35 count Abecedarian. I don't know if the 35 is a typo or if there actually was a 35 count at some point, but I'm doing it on 36 count Abecedarian, which I happen to have in my stash. Shocking. And like I said, I started this on October 13th, Friday the 13th at the Stitch New England Retreat. I did exactly 500 stitches, which was not intentional. It's just when I stopped, I was right there. And that's where I got. So I got that flower, and then I got just the tip of the haunted house that's next door. As I've mentioned before, for any new start, my goal, my personal requirement for myself is that I do at least 500 stitches in it for a start, to feel like there's a decent start on it. That 500 stitches is 2.4%. I'm not sure if I said that or not. And then my final new start is in yet another bag from Sheba Designs that I bought. This one is a vinyl front, and I will take this out so you can hopefully see the inside. This is the old Graveyard by Thistles, if I can get my hands on the pattern. And I started this on October 14th at the Stitch New England Retreat. It is on 36 count Stitch Me Gray Magic. I started this one in the middle, just because there wasn't a lot at top left, so starting in the middle lets me kind of, will let me kind of move around. So I got that bird and the top of the tombstone that the bird is sitting on, or most of the bird. I haven't done the eye or the beak. And I got 689 stitches on this for 9%. Sorry. I didn't realize I had my bag upside down. So everything started falling out. Anyway, yeah, so I've got 9% done on that. And let me get, I'm doing the all of the called for fancy floss on that. Sorry, let me get all my junk back in here. And that is it for the last 3 weeks. So quite a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I worked on 11 projects, of which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 were new starts. On the docket, I need to finish 4.5 more hours on Winter Wonderland. I need to do about 960 more stitches on September Sapphires. And I want to finish May Quaker this month, or at least by the 8th of November before I plan to start the June Quaker. Also, the last part of Schoolhouse Rock Sale came out yesterday. I have not worked on that since I last recorded, so I am behind. But Bill came out last week, but the whole thing is done now. So I don't want to let that linger, even though I'm way behind. So I think I will sit down this weekend and figure out how much is left to do and see if I can't come up with a way without feeling too monogamous to get that finished between now and the end of the year. If not, by the end of the year, maybe the end of January, something like that. So I'm going to sit down sometime over the next week and come up with some goals to get that finished, just so it doesn't linger too far. And that puts us to stashing for retirement. Okay, stashing for retirement. As I mentioned earlier, I am not going to show you anything that I purchased at any of the retreats or in my travels the past few weeks. This is all one of either stuff that is my regular clubs or that I had purchased outside of the retreats, and then a couple of things that I was given by some friends as birthday gifts. So if you want to see the bulk of the haul, check out the video that's coming after this, because that's where a lot of the stashing for retirement is coming from. So a couple pieces of fabric. This was the Stitch Me for September, which was Boneyard. I get the 40 count neutral. So it's kind of yellowish goldish with some gray or black, pretty. This was the fabric of the quarter for Barefoot Needle Art, which is called Pebble Beach. This is 32 count. And I had originally signed up for this club as 32 count, and it switched to 40 count last quarter, but there was a bit of a snafu in the record keeping, so I got 32 count, but I love it, so I kept the 32 count, and then I just ordered a piece of 40 count, which is what I wanted. So this is also Pebble Beach, but in 40 count. So their sign-ups for the fabric of the quarter can be found on Barefoot Needle Art's website if you're interested. I like that it's quarterly because it seems a little more manageable, you know, just 4 times a year. They also are doing a bag of the quarter for next year, and I think sign-ups for that end soon, at least for the first quarter, because Memory needs to figure out how much fabric to buy and start making the bags. And they have a zipper bag and an envelope bag. I prefer their zipper bag because it has a little more structure, and I like a zipper. Their envelope bag is like a envelope flap with Velcro, but it doesn't have as much structure, which is, so my preference is a zipper. But the envelope is a little cheaper if you're looking for a more economical option. Excuse me. I also got my floss clubs for October. from Pam at Stitch in England. I am not going to take these out for right now. These are my classic colorworks. They're done alphabetical. We're in the P's on those. And my Weeks die works in the L's. There's 10 flosses each pack. And then I also, through her, do the needlepoint silks. And I get 5 in the regular line with 1 in the Northern Lights collection. And so this time is the rest of the Yellow Ochre range, starting into the Williamsburg Blue range, and then the hot pink one is the Northern Lights. So you've got those. Also, I have been getting from Pam the Cottage Garden Samplings Snowman this year. So this is the Witch, which is number 11, I think. Number 11, so there's only one more coming, and I always get the Fancy Floss for whatever called for that. While I was gone this past weekend, I got an order I'd made from 123Stitch last weekend. Giant bag of DMC. I am kitting up a couple of projects that I want to start this year that I'll tell you more about later. Also some Chronic, and a couple of Fancy Flosses that I also needed, and some beads for another project I'm kitting up. I'll tell you more about those when I do it. Somebody had showed this on their floss tube, and I can't remember who. I think it was maybe Memphis Sarah E. This is a Dimensions kit, Christmas Village ornaments. It's a gold kit, and I just thought they were really cute. I, at some point in time, would like to have a Christmas tree with all handmade ornaments, and so I just thought they were really cute. They're actually, I don't know if it says right here how big they are. Oh, 3.25 inches by 5 inches each. So decent size ornaments, but still ornament size. And I think that has, it includes the pre-sorted thread, metallic thread, 18 count ivory Ada felt for the back, but it does not include the glue and quilt batting that you need for it. So I just found that on Amazon. Somebody else showed these on their floss tube, and I had to get them from Meridian Designs. I have a good friend that really loves flamingos, and I've been making her a flamingo ornament the past couple years. I took my glasses off so you don't get reflection, and so I thought these were cute. There's Flamingo Row Winter, which has the tree, the snow, the candy cane legs, and a wreath, and Flamingo Row Autumn. So you got the witch hat, the ghost, the like vampire, and the pumpkin. I will probably do those like one at a time as little ornaments for my friend. And then while I was on there, I saw this, the Graveyard Shift. It is done, the model's done on perforated paper on those 3 pieces. I think I will probably just do it on fabric as one piece when I do it. I just thought it was really cute, so I don't know when I'll do it. I also ordered 2 more bags from Sherry So Sweet. I got one with Teresa Kogut, kind of patriotic. Her, I think it's called something Beginnings or something like that line. It's a patriotic line. And then I got one that is just like fall. And you can see she quilts the backs of hers too. She makes a really nice bag, and it's like 14 by 15, so a little bit bigger than what I make. I do mine end up about 14 by 14. A couple of things that I bought online that I'll put pictures in. I have purchased the Creepy Christmas Village Stitch Along from Lola Crow. I can't put a picture because it hasn't been released yet. They're ornaments. I think there's 6 ornaments. Starting November 3rd. I don't know if I'll keep up with it, but I wanted to go ahead and get them. And I did order Fox and Rabbit Elephant Run fabric for those, which has shipped, but I have not received yet. So, also I got, sorry, I can't read my tiny handwriting without my glasses. I purchased the rest of the monthly Quakers series. I'm not gonna put pictures up there because you will see those one at a time as I do them over the next months. But I wanted to go ahead and get all the floss for all of them, and so I went ahead and purchased them all so I could see what that was. And then the last thing I purchased this weekend, I'll put a picture of here. It's from Artisy. It is called Mini Winter Kitty. It is a full coverage design. It is a smallish one because I got the mini. And I have fabric for that. I think I can pull the floss, so I'm going to kit that up. I might start it this year, but anyway, it'll be on the next few months radar, at least for starting, I think. So those are the digital patterns that I don't have to show you. And then all I have left is a couple of well, mostly birthday presents, but there's one other thing in there. So my friend Michelle gave me some birthday presents, and my friends Michelle and Peggy and I we're multi-craftual. So Michelle gave me this little cute little mini quilt kit. And a season of minis. This is the autumn one. Of course, having an October birthday, I love. And it has like all the fabric to make the quilt top. It doesn't have I think it has, I'm not sure, I think it has the backing fabric, but it doesn't have the batting. And then she also included a little notepad, mental note: remember, eventually, forget, do something about, contemplate, ignore, stick somewhere. And then at the bottom went mental. So that was very appropriate. And another little notepad with a magnet that says, I am a woman of many moods and they all require chocolate. Chocolate is cheaper than therapy. There's nothing wrong with me that chocolate can't cure. So, and then she also gave me a cross stitch fabric measure that's got a corner gauge, reference guide, handy little thing to go in my stitching bag. And then she gave me, I think, honestly, she gave me all these little charts, and I think she thought I had most of them. I did have a couple of them. She gave them to me and said, whatever I didn't want put on the freebie table at Queen City, which I did. So there were a couple I'd already had, and I put those on the freebie table at Queen City. But I did not have these, and these are all heart and hand wee ones. So St. Patrick bird, Valentine bird, Easter bird, spring bird, Halloween bird. I can't believe I didn't have that one. And summer bird. Michelle has unfortunately decided that cross stitch is not for her. So she has divested herself of most of the cross stitch stuff that she had. And that was some, I think, that she came across afterwards. And then this weekend I saw my friend Peggy, who brought me some birthday stuff. First of all, it came in this bag, which was actually apparently made by Amy Baker of Barefoot Needle Art. Thank you, Amy, for my bag. So I guess she had done a smaller version of this on something in the store, and Peggy asked her if she could make it and bigger for a bag, and she did, and then she apparently did the whole bag for me, which was nice. So let's set this over here, and hopefully I can pull all this out without crinkling too much. So Peggy gave me this, which is Morning Glory Needleworks, a stitch a day. It's a year of stitches, and what it is so I think we're both going to start this January 1. You do one day, you do the outer box, then day 2 you do the inside of it. Day 3 you do the next outer box, day 4 you do the inside of it, and it's all kinds of specialty stitches. Like I think this box, the outline is in Montenegro stitch, and so it's tons. I mean, it's like 42 pages of pattern. But it's little bite size. I mean, each square is like, I think 10 by 10. So, it's not, it's like 50 stitches a day at the most or something like that. So she gave me that, and she gave me 28 count, sorry, stuff's starting to slide out, 28 count Lugana to do it on in Mystic Fabrics Time Worn. And she gave me a little stitching box that had the sulky floss for that pattern, for the Stitch a Day pattern. Oh, these are buttons for the snowman that Amy Barefoot Needle Arts had in the Christmas Just Cross Stitch magazine. And then she gave me some needles, John James Colonial Tapestry Petites. She gave me some of the Pony Blacks, which Amy and Memory are carrying in their store, but I hadn't tried. These are a couple of the Pony Blacks with the white needle that she had used some, but she gave me to try. And then she also gave me, I don't know if I can get it out. These are twin pointed cross stitch needles, so you thread in the middle. And so if you're like two-handed stitching, you know, you just go up and down like this. You don't have to twist the needle. So theoretically, the thread doesn't twist as much. So I will give those a try. I don't know if I'm going to like the length of that needle, but we will give it a try and see. So let me see if I can get that back in there so that it will close. This was a cute little, just a little plastic box that has stitching tools on it. I don't know if you can see that. Then Peggy has been busy making floss drops. Sorry. She gave me a couple big rings. Bunch of floss drops she made. More floss drops she made with a, and this is really lightweight. This is like a light plastic. It's not that heavy metal, you know, that you normally make the things, I can't remember what the word is, something with a C, copper, I don't know. Anyway, more floss drops. And then she gave me a bunch of smaller ones that she's cut out, but I haven't done there's Christmas and Halloween in here. There's a bunch of them. So I think that was all the birthday gifts. Oh, more floss drops. These actually do have the hole punch, so they're a separate bag. Oh, and Peggy, well, this kind of segues into the next one. So Peggy was at, the weekend I was at Queen City, Peggy was at the Barefoot Needle Arts Retreat, which is a retreat that I usually attend, and I would have been at had I not gotten into, let me take my glasses off, sorry. Had I not gotten into Queen City. Which actually I signed up for Queen City before I ever started attending the Barefoot Needle Arts retreats. Anyway, they had an exclusive pattern for the retreat that was done by the Blue Flower. I do believe that there are extras of these available from the Barefoot Needle Art website. Don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure they said that. And so Peggy gave me a copy of it. It's called Autumn Beach Postcards. And so it has 5 like postcard size patterns. I love the little kid flying the kite on the beach. You got the palm tree with the pumpkins in it. And then it says toes in the sand, stitch in the hand. I would probably do that, just the pumpkins. And then you got I guess that's a crane of some sort with a pumpkin. And then another beach scene. So that's really cute. If you like that, like I said, I think you can get that from the Barefoot Needle Arts website. So anyway, so here's the last thing. And this is a pretty big one. So I was at the Queen City Stitch Retreat the weekend of the Barefoot Needle Arts Retreat. And again, I will talk about this more in the other video, but Queen City had tons of raffles and giveaways, out of print charts. I didn't win anything. I did win, everybody won at least one giveaway, and I did win a $25 gift certificate from 123 Stitch, which I've already spent on that bag of DMC I showed you a little bit ago. But I did not win any of the raffle prizes, particularly any of the like unicorn charts that I was looking for. Amy and Memory were doing a silent auction of some out-of-print charts as a fundraiser for the charity. They support a charity every retreat, and they do some raffle prizes, and then they also do silent auction on some very desirable charts. And normally, since I was not there, I would not have bid on one. And I was putting raffle tickets in for this at the Mirabilia retreat. But there was apparently a person at the Barefoot retreat who was taking patterns, the desirable patterns, off of the freebie table, and while sitting in the retreat, putting them up online for sale. That's just rude. That absolutely is just rude. I mean, Amy and Memory couldn't do anything about it because it's freebie table. Everybody's allowed to take it, at least have the courtesy to wait till you get home and put the shit online. That's all I got to say. Anyway, but one of the patterns that they had for silent auction was one of my unicorns. And like I said, normally I would not have bid on it, even though it was my unicorn, because I was not there. And I would have given the people there the opportunity to win it at the silent auction. However, two things. One, I don't know if it's just it wasn't as desirable to the people who were at the retreat. I won't say it's not the right people were there, but it wasn't as desirable to the people that weren't at the retreat. It wasn't going for what I felt like it should go for to support their charity. I'll put it that way. And then it became apparent that the person who was taking stuff off the freebie table was bidding on it because it wasn't going for the amount it should be going for, hoping to get it for cheap so that they could put it online and sell it and make money off of it. And that, again, is just wrong and doesn't fly. So, with Amy and Memory's knowledge, my friend Peggy bid on it, with me being the money back behind it. And I still got it for a very reasonable price compared to what I could have bought on eBay, although a little bit more than it was going to go for had I not had Peggy bid for me. And the benefit to that is, when I ordered it on eBay, I've looked at it on eBay, and it's not that I was not willing to pay what it was going for on eBay, but, I'm always a little nervous, will I actually get it, or what shape will it be in? And, Amy and Memory, I knew that it would be in good shape. Anyway, all that is a long way of saying that I have Lady of the Flag. So, and it came with all the embellishments. So I am in the process of kitting this up. I want to do it on the Constitution fabric. Primitive Hair shop is currently closed, but I think there's some other vendors on Etsy that have it. I am going to be doing the blue conversion. If you watch Nancy, the Silverleaf Stitcher, she is doing the blue conversion. You'll see kind of what it looks like. So I will not be using all of the embellishments that are in here because some of the beads change, but some of them do not. So this will get started if not by the end of the year, it will get started in January. It just depends on when I get everything together and get the fabric and get started. So anyway, so one of my unicorns I have. Still need Touching the Autumn Sky if anybody out there was looking to dispose of that. I had a lot of raffle tickets in this and Touching the Autumn Sky at the Queen City Retreat. Didn't win either, but that's okay. Anyway, so that is it for this video. Hopefully that's under an hour. I think it's going to be about 45 minutes. Calendar, the only thing on my calendar right now is I hopefully will be at the February Barefoot Needle Arts Retreat. Registration was Saturday. They do it by Google form, but they also allow you to show up in person. And if you show up in person, they generally guarantee you'll get in. So I had to do it by Google form. Peggy and I both did because we're in the mountains. My receipt email is at 10:02. According to their post, it looks like it filled up at like 10:03. So hopefully I got in. We'll see if I get an invoice this next week. But assuming I do, I will be at that retreat in February in Myrtle Beach. And as of right now, that is my only planned event. We'll see what comes up between now and the end of the year. So, but I probably will not be doing any more like big weekend events. I might do a day get together. I'm one of the people I met at Queen City who lives in South Carolina. She and another friend of mine talked about meeting up in Irmo, South Carolina at the new Stitch and Kitten with my friend Peggy, who spends a lot of time in Columbia area with her daughter's family on a Saturday. So if we do that, I'll let you know. But anyway, so I think that's it. I appreciate you checking me out and watching. If you're interested in it to hear about the retreats and the events I've done in the last few weeks and see all the haul from that, please check out the other video as well. When it goes up, it may go up a while, a day or so after this one, but it should be relatively quick, assuming I get it recorded tomorrow. And I think that's about it. As usual, I tried to link or at least mention most things below. I will hopefully put timestamps on this, so if you want to skip around, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below, or you can email me at the email address in the link tree or in the description box below. I can never remember if I have it in the description box or in the link tree link, but it's there somewhere. So anyway, thanks for watching. And I should have said at the beginning, but I didn't. If you're new, I appreciate you checking me out. Please like, subscribe, and all those fun things. Apparently, if you like the actual video, that helps. I don't know. I have gotten a few new subscribers. I think largely from the events I've done in the last 3 weeks. So if I got you from that, welcome. I appreciate it. And I will talk to you later. Bye, y'all.